So there was two letdowns this weekend.
Couple.
One physical, one figurative. Y'all see where I'm taking this?
Do you want to go literal or figurative first?
Let's start the literal letdown. That was the Rolling Loud Miami stage.
Okay.
Apparently the day before the festival was supposed to start, a portion of the stage collapsed. Now I don't know why it collapsed, but I don't know if anyone has asked the question of whether this was like a faulty beam or, something's just in the Florida infrastructure making things collapse right now. I don't know which, but thank God no one was on it.
Florida's having a rough time right now with infrastructure.
Yeah.
That is crazy because the condo thing was like a couple weeks ago. That's crazy. And somebody, like another condo in Florida, got evacuated because they said the infrastructure is not safe here. You got to leave. You got to move out. And I was like, golly.
Was this like the main stage?
I think so. I think it was part of the main stage.
Oh yeah, I am noticing the phrasing of this tweet. A portion of a Rolling Loud stage. So I don't know.
Yeah. So
it doesn't look big. And do you think that's?
Well, yeah. Maybe that's one. Yeah, you're right. That maybe that's not the main stage because Travis Scott performed last night. And it didn't look like it was any issue.
And he was still doing all that jumping with the stage.
Yeah, he was doing all the jumping and stuff like that. So y'all safe, and people stay safe at Rolling Loud because coronavirus is not gone. It's actually going up now. So
wait, did he play that song that he like put out on Instagram and all that?
I think it was like a little video at the show, but I don't know if he did like a whole set, like a whole the whole performance.
You're gonna tease us with it for like months, like Highest in the Room. That took forever to come out.
Highest in the Room came out 3 years ago, and it's gonna be a single.
That was a good song. That's crazy that was 3 years ago, but that was a good song.
I
like that song.
I just know from that Beats commercial. So yeah.
Asher, did you like Highest in the Room by Travis Scott?
I actually did. It's on my playlist. I just realized this is Mr. McGee. This is what I do in my classes. I'm so sorry.
I kind of like it.
Go ahead.
Kind of like it. It said Mr. McGee.
Yeah. Wait, so
they seem older.
Mr. McGee, your classes?
Yeah, Asher's a teacher.
Are you the TA or the student at this point?
Teacher.
I mean, I'm the teacher. Yeah, I teach kids.
He's not joking. He's serious.
I don't know if he's joking yet, so I don't know if I should pursue this and ask him.
He's serious. He's serious. Yeah. But glad everybody Rolling Loud safe and everything, though. That's a good thing.
Okay, Noah's like, get back on subject.
Yeah, let's get back on
it. So just and then so back to our figurative letdown. And the reason Asher is here this week that we'll get into later, Kanye not coming, but someone's still trying to make money off of his listening event in Atlanta. So y'all, someone's trying to sell air from that listening event in Atlanta for $3,000. For over $3,000.
You know what? I want to be like, this is stupid and it's a joke, but I bet they're gonna sell it and somebody's gonna buy it. Like
someone's gonna buy that.
Somebody's gonna buy it, and that's gonna be so. Like, who's the dumb one here? Like, the person sold air for $3,000. I guarantee somebody's gonna buy this. So we're gonna get more into the Kanye. What do we call it? Kanye's deception? I don't know. Kanye's
deception, history of lies. I'm trying to wait for the picture they posted because they posted a picture for proof.
Yeah, right here.
And I'm like, I just can't believe this is like, and someone's gonna buy it. I'm telling you.
That's ridiculous, but yeah, but we'll get into more into Kanye shenanigans. You feel me? So
yes.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to the 97 demo. That was our long intro. That'll all make sense once we actually have the episode. But I'm one of your three hosts, Nnamdi
and Noah.
And I'm Avery. And joining us is
I'm Asher.
How do we know you, Asher?
Asher's
your last name, it would make more sense saying.
Asher is my younger brother, not little brother. He's my younger brother because he is not. He is definitely bigger than me.
Bigger than you.
Yeah, I say he's my younger. He's my younger brother, not little brother.
He's my kid brother.
He's my kid brother. He's my younger, not. You know,
he's your baby brother. I used to hate when people do that to me. This is my baby brother. No, I ain't.
Yeah. I ain't no baby though. You know, I'm 20.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
And I guess we'll this is actually a perfect time than ever to explain why Asher's with us. Asher, you did something that could have been amazing, honestly. And I guess was amazing, except it didn't end really the way everyone wanted it to. But you were able to go to the Donda listening event in Atlanta.
Yeah.
One, how was that? And two, how did you get tickets to that? Because I was there and I didn't see no postings, and I'm still kind of upset about it.
All right, so the way I was able to get tickets was I have a friend who's in the music industry, and I was actually at school teaching when I found out that Kanye was having a listening event at Mercedes-Benz, and he hit me up and said, okay, so I got the link for tickets, but it was like 2,000 people in front of him. So that happened, and then he ended up getting the tickets off a website. I don't even know the website for them. I don't even know how he got the website, and they were like, I'd like to say $72. Well, they were $50, and then you add tax on top of them. And so that happened. And then Morehouse, the school I attend, actually every school in the AUC, Atlanta University Center, gave out free tickets. And I was about to sell them. But like 2 hours before the actual listening event, they said they ran out. So yeah, a lot of people that planned to go didn't get to. So
dang.
Happened.
That's exclusive. That's dope though that he gave out tickets to everybody, you know.
Yeah,
AUC. Cool. That is dope. And Kanye
Kanye for probably doing that.
Kanye did live in Atlanta for like the first 5 years of his life, something like that. Like he was born.
Oh, I always remind people Kanye's from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, he lived here for a little bit, so yeah. But yeah, we have Ash here to talk about it, so let's get to it. Asher, how was?
That's what we was doing, dog.
Kanye, I know, but we asked about the process. But how was the? Let me turn this. Make sure this audio's off. How was the listening event? Overall, when you got there, what was the experience like?
So the vibe itself, you know, everybody was kind of waiting on Kanye. He showed up like 2 hours late in true Kanye fashion. There were like headlights in the tunnel, and they would turn on and everybody would start screaming Yeezy. He didn't come out.
How long what time did you get there versus what time did Kanye come on the stage?
I got there like 8:15. The event started at 8. Kanye it's not even a stage. Literally, it was just like, he put like white floors over the entire field, and he was just running around.
Just dancing, right?
Yeah, he didn't get there till 10:15.
Oh my. Oh.
And I believe he was in the backstage recording the album while we were there. A lot of the verses came in late, like Jay-Z's verse came in late, but the vibe, everybody was just waiting on Kanye, and it was just crazy because like when he came in, it wasn't like any long intro or anything like that. Literally, like the way the big board is set up, like TV, it all just turned white, and then like you just hear the big like speakers, and it was just like an organ playing, and Kanye just walked out like a superhero.
If you're watching on YouTube, you could see the full video of what Kanye's doing at the beginning. He's just standing there in all red with a mask on.
Actually orange.
Orange? Was it orange?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Kanye's like living at Mercedes-Benz Stadium right now.
It makes sense though, because the vibe there was actually crazy. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I was telling
Try to describe it.
Huh?
Try to describe it.
Okay,
what
so
was the vibe like?
It's a bunch of people listening to an album that hasn't dropped yet, an artist that hasn't said a word the entire time, but everybody's in there and it's like extremely turned. I don't know if any other artist could do that and everybody leaves satisfied, because everybody that was there that I know, they really enjoyed themselves. The music itself was like really good. Like, you weren't able to hear the lyrics clearly. You were able to hear some features, and the production was extremely clear, but it was a really, really fun experience. Especially like
That's
Kanye,
really...
Huh?
No, keep on going.
Kanye would walk around and come to certain sections, and that was really cool too. So yeah, I don't know if any other artists in the industry could pull that off. Not even like Drake or...
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. No, I'm kind of with you. I don't know who else can do this. This is like, we always talk about who's too powerful. Kanye might be too powerful. I got 70,000 people in one place.
Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word.
I think that's what like strikes me as the most significant thing. Like, Drake couldn't do this because if Drake went to a stadium and didn't say a word, people would probably leave kind of upset. I think it speaks to Kanye West that Asher just said, like, we couldn't even hear the words. The features weren't clear. You heard the production, which is what Kanye is of course known for, and everyone still left satisfied, which is crazy. So even though the album didn't end up dropping that night, you were still 100% happy with how it went.
Yeah, but it's certain songs that I still remember that I can't get out of my head, but I can't listen to because it hasn't dropped yet. There were certain features I was looking forward to that I didn't hear or might not have heard clearly. West Side Gun, I didn't hear that one clearly. The songs that stood out to me, definitely the intro. He literally said, "We're gonna be okay" for like 2 minutes straight, but
Bro, okay, I was listening to a lot of it and I was like, yo, it was going on for like six minutes.
yeah,
I was like, this one song, what's going on?
Yeah, but it was like everybody was in there just nodding their heads. It was like, dang, it's kind of hard. The song with Playboi Carti and Travis Scott, is like really good.
That song was tough.
Yeah, he had a verse from Lil Durk and Lil Baby, so I think it just goes to show like Kanye's really in tune with what's good and what's not. And I think this album is honestly gonna be really good. It was a good mixture of gospel and rap.
It's good.
Gospel and rap. Okay.
The Pusha T feature was dope.
Yeah,
I thought the Pusha
T was there.
What were the songs like? And I guess Noah, you can weigh in too. I didn't listen to the entirety of this, so and Asher, I'm specifically curious from someone who's hearing it live, like, is there any project you could kind of compare this to? Were the songs more slower paced, more of the gospel stuff we saw, or maybe the slower stuff that we saw on like Yay, or like production similar to Jesus is King, or is there any semblance of old Kanye on this?
I would say the song with Jay-Z, it sounded incomplete, but it was similar. The production in that song was similar to Gorgeous. Am I saying that right? Gorgeous?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not saying. Oh, with Raekwon, I'm tripping. Hold on.
Oh, that is Gorgeous.
That's Gorgeous? I'm not
Yeah,
tripping.
with Raekwon.
Yeah, just because the guitar in the background.
Exciting.
I don't like that song. That's pretty. That got me excited.
Yeah, so especially that one. The only thing I would say is it seemed like really short. It wasn't as long as I thought it would be. It's like 10, 12 tracks.
Good.
I don't know if I could compare it to. I don't know, because each Kanye album has really sounded different to me.
Yeah.
Each of them don't, like, you can't say one has sounded like the other because it's Kanye. But I don't know, the production, some of them, I would say some of them, especially like using the organ, you can see some of that in Ultralight Beam or Jesus is King, because he's still on the gospel wave, but I know some rappers were saying like Kanye was like not putting profanity in his music. It was profanity in the music. But I don't know if I could compare it to...
Asher, you haven't mentioned this, but one of the dope things that I really enjoyed about the listening was like, there was different things of like his mom talking, because obviously the album's called Donda, and it's like his mom talking, and it would be like his mom talking, and we're like transitioning next time. It was really dope. Like, personally, Asher was there, so like, you know, he probably had a better experience of like listening to the music, because you know you're there. It's a lot different when you're like around a bunch of people.
No, it may have been easier for you to hear it because you know he was.
You probably heard it clear.
Yeah, maybe I did, but the part that I did enjoy about the listening was the way his mom was talking. It would just be like different, you know, interludes of his mom talking. It would go into the next song or within the songs. That was the dopest part of like the album though for me. It definitely went by really quick, honestly, the listening. And a lot of it just felt really incomplete, honestly. I mean, there was some good production on there, some good songs on there. It just really felt incomplete. So it was just like, oh, there's something here, but I was like, I hope this isn't the album, because I was like, it just doesn't sound done.
I remember like The Life of Pablo, he put that out, and then like it kept updating every time he was
exactly.
He literally put out that
album like 5 times.
Yeah.
It's a video of streaming though. You can do that now.
True. Yeah, some of the songs didn't sound mastered. Some of the the production was like louder than like the vocals. I don't know. So
I was gonna ask you what you meant by incomplete, because I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot of people say it didn't sound done. So is that like verses didn't sound finished, or does the production didn't sound like refined, for like a better word?
It just didn't sound mastered. Just the audio didn't sound super clear. You know, it was like the audio would be super louder than the vocals. It was just like, oh, that's something that you really like. Even if, you know, whether I like a Kanye album or not, I expect it to sound good in terms of like the quality of sound. The quality of sound wasn't that great for me personally. I don't know how you feel, Asher, but.
I mean, I would probably say the same thing just because he got so many verses that day. 2 Chainz literally recorded that night his verse, so I think that's the reason he didn't put it out. On top of that, he felt inspired by the crowd, I guess you could say. Yeah. Because it was just really lit, but it did somewhat sound incomplete. Yeah. Especially like listening to it again. I feel like if we would have put out what we heard that night, it would have been a good album and it would have sold well. But I think now that he's working on it a little bit more, it's gonna do even better. So I think it's gonna be better than Ye. I don't know if it's gonna be a classic, but it was definitely really good to me. Definitely a few tracks that stood out to me. God Breathed on this, No Child Left Behind.
What about that one that was in the Nike commercial last week?
That's No Child Left Behind.
That's No Child Left Behind, yeah.
That one sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded really good, bro. And then the intro, like that production was so crazy, bro. Like, and it's you just like imagine just sitting there like having a conversation and you just hear Kanye's voice and it's like blasting like really loud. But yeah, those are a few of the tracks that I enjoyed.
I don't want to be too harsh because a lot of people were like judging the album on, like, I was on Twitter, like while I was watching, I was like seeing people live react on Twitter and people were like, I'm not feeling it. You know, some people are feeling it. You know, with these Kanye albums lately, it's been like really split. You know, it's been a lot of mixed reviews in terms of some people love it, some people think it's and some people think it's bad. You know, I had thoughts, but I was like, let me just wait till the album comes out. And that kind of gets to like the fact that the album didn't come out, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be too harsh, but I'll wait till tonight when the albums come out and I'll listen. I'll be, you know, I'm willing to give it a second chance. But the album did not come out, guys. We all played ourselves. I remember.
Is anyone like shocked? Like, no one's shocked, obviously, but like, did we all think it was coming out?
Avery, you know what? I blame you, Avery.
Yeah, I fell for this time.
I blame Avery, bro.
I like had skeptical belief, I'd say. Like, I did think it was gonna drop, but I was very much so emotionally prepared for it not dropping.
Yeah.
Just because Kanye's last like 4 albums, including Donda,
Donda was last year. Donda was supposed to come out last year.
That was Yandi.
So like I knew. What'd you say?
No,
it was supposed to be Yandi. I thought.
No, Donda came out last because remember he had that video.
I remember hearing about Donda, an album last year, and there were rumors it was gonna drop.
Well, okay, remember he was supposed to drop 3 albums in 1 year at some point, and I think.
But I will say
console, there was this one, there was Yandi.
Yeah.
A bunch.
But I will say, just with like how this has turned out, after talking to like Asher and like hearing more about what it was like, and then even just considering that this wasn't called an album release party, it was called a listening party. I do sort of understand where Kanye's head may have been a little bit more. He wanted to get reaction for, like, how cool would it be if artists considered fans before they release an album and just ask for a reaction from fans?
True.
And that effectively is what Kanye did. He just based it on whether or not they were turned to the songs, but I'm sure that played a role. So I get it now, and I'm kind of excited for what may come next.
I think the most underrated part of all this has been like the least turbulent Kanye rollout that we've had in a long time. Like, he's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, true.
He hasn't said anything stupid. Like, he's just kind of like, seems like he's just like, I mean, he could say something dumb tomorrow. It's Kanye. But like, I don't know. Like, it just seems like he's just making the music and then he's going to put it out. So
I agree with that.
And I think the fact that he's been through a lot of personal stuff probably like, in my opinion, is part of the reason why.
I mean, the album's album's named after his mom. You know, his mom passed away. So, I mean, the thing, we kind of set up ourselves because Kanye or his label or anything like that never made an official announcement like Donda album coming out Friday night.
Actually,
you know,
they did in that commercial.
They haven't done that before, and even when they've done that before, Kanye has still skipped deadlines.
They said it was coming out on Friday in that commercial.
In the Beats commercial, they say coming out Friday.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, see, that's annoying. Oh my gosh.
I feel like Kanye's reaction to the listening party and him being inspired led him to just keep working on it. On top of the fact that, like it says right here, he has like a bunch of new verses and he didn't want to rush it. But I would definitely say since he's inspired, I've heard a snippet of him in the stadium. I don't think he's changed clothes since that night.
Yeah, bro. He went to the Atlanta United game and he's still wearing that jacket, those jackets and everything, with the mask and everything. I don't know. I was kind of annoyed because all those, remember it was like KD shocked about how the music here. Yo, we about to be, and everybody's just waiting.
Oh, why does Justin, whatever his name, even know about this? I'm like, I didn't
know
realize
who is that guy. I don't know who he is.
I didn't see women not liking him on Twitter, and that's the extent of what I know about who he is.
We all played ourselves because I remember I definitely at 12:05 went to Kanye West profile on Apple Music. I was like, oh, Kanye, same. And I was like, oh, next morning, I was
ready too.
And so yeah, I'm just not ready. And then people are saying August 6th, but I don't think it's gonna be August 6th. Honestly, I still think it's gonna be some kind of thing.
I think I kind of believe.
I don't believe it because
I feel like it's close.
I don't.
This has just been a year of disappointment.
It's gonna be like the second or third time we're gonna be like, oh, it's finally out, because Kanye's just, that's who he is.
I think it's close. We're close. It's coming out soon.
I believe within the next month it'll come out, but I just don't believe it's. And that's saying a lot. Like, oh, next month it's gonna come out. Like, it's disappointing. I'm still gonna listen to it, but.
Yo, I'm trying to Google just as like a cap to this. Does anyone remember when Donda West 2007? Okay.
It was right before 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yep, 808s and Heartbreaks. Yep, exactly. So.
Well, I guess we can just look forward to the album is coming eventually. Asher, I appreciate you joining us and giving us your live feedback on what happened.
For sure.
Do you want to stay around a little and talk about some of the new music that came out this week?
I ain't listening to none of that, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, then Asher, I'll talk to you.
Asher, we will talk to you later, buddy.
Yeah, I don't even listen to Logic, so.
Neither do we.
Best right now. Probably for the best right now.
James Blake and Lord.
Asher's like,
ooh,
who are these
actually,
people?
Asher, let me ask you a question before you head out. Were you upset that Logic came back after saying he was gonna retire?
I don't like Logic. He's corny. He's like a poor man's Jack Harlow.
Ooh.
I feel like Jack Harlow is a rich man's Logic, since Logic has been here longer. Let's be fair.
Logic is just Belly the Weeknd. Logic is just he's Logic.
Oh my gosh, it's all right. Well,
you like Logic?
It's just it's a sad fall because when I was in high school, I was when Logic was first coming out with those mixtapes. Logic was the dude. It was not cool to hate on Logic. I remember he was on the BET Cypher. He was on the XXL Freshman cover. My favorite one with Joey Badass, Schoolboy Q, Absol, with all those guys. And people were like, "Yo, Logic is actually dope." His first album was dope. His mixtape was dope. No ID did the production, and I was like, "Yo." But then after that debut album, it just kind of went down and down and down and down. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to Logic, but we'll talk about new releases. So.
I can cut this out, but I feel like he just based everything in his personality off being biracial. But that's just me.
Okay. I feel like Twitter says that, but no one ever show me the verses where every song is, "Oh, I'm biracial."
He did do that for a while. He did do that for a while, though. He did do that for a while. But I don't think he's still doing it now, though. He's not doing it now. He's just like.
I think of Logic and I think of Charlamagne just for whatever reason.
Oh my goodness. The thing with Logic, though, oh my gosh, we'll talk about.
Okay, well, no, let's transition. So he made a song, "Call Me." Did anyone listen to "Call Me"?
I did, and you know what? It's crazy. It's actually good. It's actually good. I actually like it.
Of the new songs he's released, it's not a high bar.
And he's been doing one.
But okay, I got you. Hey, people put out bad songs all the time, okay? People put out bad songs all the time. Artists we love put out bad songs. It happens. Heck, we just talked about Kanye West, who's a legend. He's put out bad songs, okay? So let's calm down now, okay? Let's calm down.
Yeah, no, but that proportion and ratio matters a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
Did anyone listen to Industry Baby by Nas?
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X.
This man said Nas.
Lil Nas X. I wonder how Nas feels about him having the name Lil Nas X.
Asher, you can go.
I love this song.
Wow, wait. Asher, what were you about to say before I think I talked over you?
That Kanye West has the strongest discography in the history of hip hop.
Wow, what a statement to leave on. Oh, I would love to argue about that one day.
He used to, but not anymore.
I mean, I think his albums have aged well. Life of Pablo aged well, in my opinion. I think that helps him now. Yeezus, in my opinion, aged really well. I think that helps him now.
Jesus,
I think some of the albums people hated. I think Yeezus aged really well. I think at the time it dropped, it's a little bit more experimental, so we were a little bit more hard on it. But now when I go back to it, I'm like, this isn't.
You know what's crazy? I went back and you know what's so crazy? I went back and it's still bad.
Nobody.
Y'all like Yeezus or no?
Yeezus is bad.
Am I alone in that take?
Yeezus is bad. There's 3 good songs. Yeezus is bad.
I like Yeezus.
I like Yeezus.
Yeezus is
like
bad.
No, this is a testament. Like you're in the minority now. That's what I'm saying. Like
On the podcast. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Remember, there's people who thought, what was the last album? The gospel album? People thought that was fire too. We were in the minority in that too. People love that album.
I didn't.
That's not a rap album though. I'm talking about.
What are you talking about? It's called rap. He's rapping on the album. What you talking about?
It's more of a gospel album. He's
hold on. We can't play both ways because remember we was talking about it's not a gospel album. He was using the gospel.
No. I maintain the reason why I had an issue with Jesus is King is because of how much the gospel community kind of put it on a pedestal and it won all the gospel awards that year. That I had an issue with. But if I'm comparing it in just Kanye West's discography, it wasn't bad. It just was different. I don't think different enough to good enough to justify how different it was. Like, and then considering what he just put out on the end, like it was after Yay, it was a but I didn't dislike it. But I think his older stuff helps him now. This is another episode.
All right, yeah, it's another episode. Y'all gonna get me on the Kanye thing again. Y'all gonna give me hating. Y'all gonna give me hating again. Y'all gonna give me hating again.
You do that without us. Don't say we gonna get you. Nothing. Asher, thank you for joining us again for like the 3rd time. Now we'll actually say goodbye to you. Thank you for coming on the pod.
All right, guys. Be safe out here.
Bye, little brother.
Wait for us to continue the little brother series. So actually, Avery, who's gonna be next? Your brother or my brother?
I think we need to see where the wind takes us for topics.
Time will only tell. Okay, well let's rush to new releases. This has officially been a long episode. But what did y'all think of Industry Baby by Lil Nas X?
Oh, fire!
I was actually surprised how much I like it. I didn't even need. Honestly, I wish.
Wait, no. Jack Harlow's so good on this song.
No, I wish he wasn't on it.
Oh, I knew you were.
I like Jack. Why are so people saying that? I like Jack Harlow on.
He's fine. Okay. Yo, Jack Harlow has style. I just personally like Lil Nas X. This is a testament to how good I like the song. Period. I would say, oh, the song's great. I didn't say Jack Harlow was bad. I just thought it was
I think he adds to this.
I think that's me too. I think Lil Nas X, it's definitely a song that's meant for like radio and it's a commercial hit. Like that's the goal. And I think Lil Nas X, he raps really well on it. And I think he helps with that overall goal.
The beat on there is incredible.
Jack Harlow, excuse me.
Produced by Kanye West.
Kanye West, right?
Good job, Kanye.
Yeah, no, I love the song.
Did y'all like the video? The video was crazy.
So good.
The video was good.
Lil Nas X kills it with visuals.
And I just don't think there's anyone else who is as good as trolling and turning like scrutiny and scandal into like money making art, basically.
Yeah, no one right now.
That's what he does.
He's the master right now.
He really is the master. It's crazy.
He's a barb. Like you can't mess with a barb on Twitter.
No, that's true.
He was a barber doing claim being a barber. That's for another episode as well.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Also is a good song. Better Believe by Belly, The Weeknd, and Young Thug. This song's good.
This song is warm up on me a little bit more.
What?
I know I may be in the minority, but I need it to warm up on me just a little bit more. It's just not there with me yet.
You tripping? That song's good.
What else is good?
That song's good.
This James Blake song.
Avery didn't cap for it either.
I didn't listen.
Yeah, he didn't listen.
Oh.
This James Blake song though,
James Blake song.
Really good. He announced his album for August 6th, right?
August 6th, I believe.
We should review that. I would love to review James
I'd like to.
James Blake,
Lord. Like stands of his last album. So.
And then while we're looking at it, did anyone listen to the Avery? You sent me this, didn't you? Was that you? Who sent me Stay High, Childish Gambino?
It's a Childish Gambino. It's a cover of Brittany Howard.
Yeah. She come out with like an album of people like covering her songs or remixing her songs. So like, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. Earth Gang's on it and Childish Gambino, and like, it's pretty cool.
That's dope.
I feel bad. If you're the one who sent me this song and you're listening, I'm sorry for
it's out now. The album's out now.
It's really good.
Yeah. Obviously, this Lord song is incredible. Amazing.
Yeah, Avery's a stan. It's really good though.
Oh,
I really liked it.
Stoned at the Nail Salon for our audio listeners.
Yes.
Stoned at the Nail Salon by audio listeners.
Oh, good.
What you
A
said.
lot of people were hating on it, Avery, but I liked it a lot.
You know,
Oh,
I'm
Lord?
kind of
Kinda
like
be-
tuning out the Lord. We talked about this on Friday as well, but I'm kind of like tuning out the Lord hate right now
Slander. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
because I just
Wait.
think it's unfounded.
Wait, what was that? What's the hate? It's just people just don't like the song.
People
Yeah.
think it's slow and it's boring and it doesn't sound like melodrama. And again, just let artists be artists.
Let
y'all.
her
Just
do
try
her
to just
thing.
ride
That's
the
true.
stay on the journey.
Okay.
Exactly.
People have the right not to like a song though. If they,
I know,
it's not
but
what
it's
they
just
want.
like if they want it to sound like something that's already come out, like just go listen to that album.
for sure.
A
I
lot
agree.
of the criticism isn't this is a bad song, is oh, this doesn't sound like X. And that's what it's like.
Mm,
Well, it's not supposed to sound like.
true.
It's like let her do her thing. You know, it's like the third album.
Let's wait till that. It might sound better in the context of that one.
Exactly.
Last song that only matters is on here is "What You Said" by Isaiah Rashad. Honestly,
Was
this is actually like one of the. I mean, it's Isaiah Rashad, guys. Come on.
One week,
I
right?
know, I know
One
you
week?
a stand. Don't worry. I know.
1 week from now. Honestly, this was like it wasn't bad, but it's like probably the worst single he's put out. But it was really cool though.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah. I
Right,
really
He's
like
put out the other singles have been really good. So that's,
They're really good.
They've been very, very good.
And this one's just solid. This girl,
Nice.
I am Dolce. She sound like SZA. I was like, why don't you just get SZA for this song?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Ooh, yeah, that's your label mate.
Yeah, I was like, she probably on the album anyway, but I was like, why don't you get SZA on the song? And Cal Banks, I'm pretty sure produced it. He's a producer. He was on the Dreamville project too. He did a lot of production on there too. So yeah, I'm excited for the album
Yo.
next week. So
Is anyone listening to Kid Leroy, like the Kid Leroy album? Did anyone listen to that?
Mm-mm.
I'm just, we did what we listened to something he put out before, and that put
He
him
was-
on my radar. I don't
he was
remember
on
what
the
it
chart.
was.
he's on
So-
the
He's on the charts for a long time.
yeah, he's on the chart.
And I'm just not there with him. He has that new Justin Bieber song.
he was on the Justin Bieber album
Yeah.
for no reason.
He's a
No.
TikTok born star. So
But we're in the minority, you know. People love him, so
Yeah.
It's apparently too many
Yeah,
people.
well,
love him,
there is way more songs on there than usual. But if you're watching on YouTube and you see the list and you listen to anything, hit us up. Let us know.
Let us know.
Thought about
what do
that.
you like?
What do you like?
But it's time for our main discussion now, which I have named, at least for now, Morgan Wallen and America's Most Popular Music, because apparently Morgan Wallen is America's most popular musician right now. Billboard put out, we're doing another one of our anniversary episodes. Billboard put out its mid-year report for 2021. Basically, it shows what's been the most popular, most listened to music in all genres, all formats, so far in 2021. We did this last year, and basically it's a good way to figure out what people are actually listening to. So there's a couple takeaways that at least I want to talk to y'all about that I've noticed, but I think we can just start with like the most consumed music.
Okay.
And we'll do albums first. So 2021's mid-year top 10 albums, and this is based on everything. They call it overall equivalent album units, so that's like physical sales and streaming and video streams, like everything. Dangerous, the double album by Morgan Wallen, with 2.1 million units sold, and that is as of 4 months post cancellation.
We can't even call it a cancellation anymore. He had a little timeout. That's it.
Yeah, he was in timeout. Exactly.
Those
It's not
time
cancel.
out.
It's not even. He wasn't canceled.
I mean, no one gets canceled. I think we discussed it, but like, he was in timeout.
No one gets canceled unless you go to jail, and they really don't get canceled still.
And like, apparently, you can get out of jail.
I mean, Bill Cosby. Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So. Yeah, this was kind of. I don't know if you guys, but I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, Morgan Wallen is the #1 album.
I didn't expect it, honestly.
I did not expect it. I personally did not expect that. So
Makes
Yeah,
sense,
but
though.
it's been, we've seen it on the Billboard 200
Yeah,
for every
that's
week.
true.
We used to like
Makes
weekly,
sense.
we'd be like, "Are y'all? Is this for real? Like still?"
And you,
And
you know what's so crazy about this album too? It's like, I think it says it right here. It's one of the first albums to be like #1 for like 10 weeks in a row since like views,
Yeah,
and I did it for like 13
first
weeks.
in views.
Views. That just shows
Yeah,
how big the album
First
was,
in views.
and it's one of the most popular country albums ever. Like in like 1 year.
I've
in
been
terms of
calling
all
him.
time.
I've been calling him country music's Drake for a long time, and people would look at me and I'm like, this is why. Like in country music right now, he is their Drake. He got so-called, I'm not gonna say canceled, but he faced a consequence for something he did, and like the result was an incredibly successful album. So like,
No bad.
there you have it. The top 5 though for most consumed this mid-year. No, if you scroll all the way down to this article, they have them all listed.
Yeah.
But, Olivia Rodrigo's "Sour" is number 2 with 1.3 million. "Justice" by Justin Bieber with a little under 1 million. "Pop Smoke," "Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon," and then "The Weekend," "After Hours." So that's the top 5. As you see, the top 10 here: Future Nostalgia, Evermore, this Luke Combs album. 2 things I wanna bring up here. One, "Sour" was great, and I'm glad everyone else around the country agreed. And 2, half of these albums came out last year or before.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I think that just
So apparently
shows.
that's like a thing.
Yeah, I think that just shows though, like how slow of a year it's been up to like, because remember we talked about this earlier in the year, like it's been kind of slow. No huge releases other than, you know, it was Olivia Rodrigo, Justin Bieber was a big release, but like other than that, who's been like a big release, like in terms of like a big huge pop act that's released an album? You know what I'm saying? I mean, J. Cole too.
And Olivia Rodrigo wasn't even like big until like she
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
like,
I'm surprised J. Cole's on here. Honestly, I'm actually surprised J. Cole's on here. J. Cole.
Well, this is, I don't think it would be hard because this track from January to July.
True.
Out, like what, May?
Yeah, you're right. His album came out like, you're right. Good point.
I think we also have to think about like, you know, concerts are going to start in the fall and the spring, and maybe a lot of these guys and, you know, artists are like waiting to drop an album for when they can like plan for a tour, you know?
Exactly. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of shows like, you know, a lot of more people are like more open to listening to music because like, yo, I could actually kind of go into that area. I can go on tour, you know, festivals. Rolling Loud's going on right now as we speak in Miami. So, you know, more people are just like, hey, I'm going to listen to these songs, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So that's a good thing. So.
I
feel
Avery,
like
even. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was gonna say, like, I think like this list would look a lot different if we check back in like December. Like, I bet you're gonna see like
absolutely.
Tyler on here, or like, you know, a lot of what we would think of like now with like, oh, why isn't that on there?
Yeah, J. Cole, stuff like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And even Avery, to your point about how the pandemics influence a lot of this, like year over year. So compared to when we did this last year, right? This exact same episode, the amount of music that's being consumed has actually gone up by 14%. It's 13.5 specifically. And that to me speaks directly to the fact that like we're ending the pandemic. And we thought people were listening to a lot of music because of the pandemic, where they're listening to even more now that they're out again. And maybe you are driving again or socializing again. You have more opportunities to play music, but the overall consumption of music is up. And like, to the point we just said, catalog consumption, which is older music, people are also listening to that by like 20% increase. So
I love that stat you just said, Nnamdi, because I'm pretty sure you sent that or Avery sent that about like catalog consumption of people going back listening to, you know, not new albums but older albums of artists. That's a thing that like, you know, I thought about. I was like, that's something I've done personally recently. I was like, oh, that is something I've been doing. I don't know. It's like crazy. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't like, oh, I went back. I was like, oh, I've been doing that lately, which is really interesting because I think now that, and we keep saying touring and stuff like that, you know, when touring comes around, you want to start listening to artists. You want to listen to their old songs. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, they'll play an old song, like if you're at a J. Cole concert, or play a song from like, you know, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. And you want to be familiar with the songs that they're playing. You would be like, oh, I want to get turned. Yeah. And know all the words and stuff like that. So I think that's a cool thing. I don't know if Nnamdi, you were going to go to this, but something else I want to talk about, which Nnamdi can relate to, because, you know, he's in the community now. Vinyl sales. Vinyls, yeah, you know, Nnamdi is a recent, he's an owner of a record player now.
Recipient of a record player.
My catalog is increasingly growing.
Nnamdi is a recipient of a recent, record player. And right now, vinyls are outselling CDs, physical copies of albums right now.
For the first time ever.
First time ever. Yeah, exactly. Since they started
tracking, at least for the mid-year part.
Yeah, exactly. So far this year, it's out that. As I can read it, for the first time at the mid-year point since MRC data began tracking sales in 1991, vinyl album sales outpaced CD album sales. And also, which is crazy because CD sales are actually up from last year too, but like 2.2%, I believe. They're up. But vinyl sales have just skyrocketed up the most.
Yeah.
And
You know what's interesting is that, and my eyes weren't open to this until like this weekend. But people aren't buying vinyls just to listen to them. Like people are buying vinyls to put around their house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We think of our good friend Grant Sharpless, who behind him, I'm sure he listens to them, but he also has them up as decoration.
Yeah.
Nnamdi and I were in an apartment this weekend where they were framed all around the apartment.
Yeah. So they're not taking about the frame to listen to them.
Nope, they're just in there.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, people, it's more of like, because when you buy a CD, it's still cool to have, but it's not like, hey, I'm gonna put this, hang this up. It's not cool to have.
Yeah, you can't like show it off.
Yeah, you can't really show off a CD off.
Vinyls, we can. Yeah,
it's a decoration.
It's a decoration, exactly.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, exactly. And vinyls have always been, people thought they just like disappeared, but they've always been around. There's still record stores and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're going out of business, unfortunately. But hopefully, this reflects, some of these record stores, because I know in a lot of cities, even like Columbia, I know, we're Mizzou people. I'm pretty sure the record store there closed a couple of years ago, I believe. I'm not sure though.
It's still open. Hit Store Records.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it closed. But I know that the industry's struggling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
The nice thing about this is that it is helping the physical stores. It's just that it's interesting because the proportion of what not only is being manufactured, but what people are buying is very much so changing to reflect that vinyls are the thing. And that's what you walk into a store and you're not going to see a whole bunch of CDs. You're going to see a whole bunch of vinyls. And that's what's fascinating. But from a sales standpoint, do y'all know who's killing the vinyls game? I think it's vinyls, if anything, are an opportunity for fans to flex if they truly support the artists, because they're not always cheap. And do y'all know who by far?
We should know who number one is.
Oh, yes.
Want to say it on three? One, two, three. Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
We were all off.
But yeah. Wait, no. Who did you think it was gonna be?
No, it's Taylor Swift. I know it's Taylor Swift. It's Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah. So that's like, she has 3 of the top 5 artists or albums that have sold the most vinyls. Taylor Swift makes like 3. She has 3 in that list. She has Evermore. She has Folklore, and then I want to say she had like. Oh, for physical albums overall, so not just vinyls. She also has, I think, the Speak Now album as well. Yeah. So that's like, she kills that.
Little alert for artists is like, have cool cover art.
Yes.
And then people are gonna want to put it in their house.
Exactly.
I think that list, that's 10 albums that have like, I can picture the album cover like very distinctly, and some of them are like all-time iconic, like Rumors or like.
Yeah, no, go back to that list. What else is there?
Thriller.
Fine Line is there. Oh, Thriller, yeah.
Fine Line's got a great
Fine Line. Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, dope album cover.
Purple Rain.
Oh, Billie Eilish.
I know the cover of Queen's Greatest Hits album cover, like because it's cool. Like, just have cool album card. Like, I think it would go a long way.
I can't find this on here, but I'm pretty sure this article said of vinyl sales all time, Taylor Swift's number 1, in front of the Beatles.
That doesn't shock me. I didn't know that, but that doesn't shock
I think I can't find the exact little blurb or the graph, but I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift is number 1 in vinyl sales all time. And this is just crazy how things have shifted, because on this it says album sales, like physical album sales, digital album sales, like iTunes or Amazon Music, wherever you can buy. They're 3rd in terms of like buying music. If you're like, so it's vinyls, then physical, then the digital album is 3rd, which is crazy, because 10 years ago, I would say
the opposite.
It would have been the opposite, because remember iTunes was coming up, everybody has an iPod, everybody has a phone.
The interesting about that is digital sales are actually down a lot. Like, that's what shocked me about the mid-year, year-over-year from the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Both digital song sales and digital album sales have like double-digit declines over the last year. And that's so interesting to me, because I know we don't listen to iTunes a lot, but I was shocked at how steep it fallen over the course of the pandemic. Maybe for some reason people were like, screw it, I'm gonna start streaming, since they were all.
It was me. I was the last person. It was like no one switched my iTunes to Apple Music. Everything went down. Yeah, it says it's down 27% basically, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, because y'all make fun of me, but I was a big iTunes guy. Me and my family, my dad, we were like, buy music. And then it was like, oh, it's just easier to stream music. It's way easier. You can listen to everything. It's so much access to so many. You basically have every song essentially when you stream. You basically own every song essentially.
But that makes so much sense though, because it's like if you
is.
buy physical, to Avery's point, part of the reason you buy your vinyl is so you can like put it up somewhere and show it off. And if you don't really care about the physical aspect, you're gonna stream because you're gonna save money. So it makes sense that the one that takes a hit is digital sales. Conceptually it makes sense. So it's just really interesting to see it. But y'all, I want to ask you a question for our next talking point. And this is honestly going to be something that I think could be an episode. Y'all keep on waiting. No, if you go to the actual report and then go to page 7, it brings up a very, very interesting, brilliant idea.
Oh.
Is Afro-Pop poised to Afro-Pop, Afro-beat, what I more so call it, poised to be the next K-pop? Because right now, this basically says it's poised for a global music breakthrough because it's getting a huge amount of streaming across the country. And here's the craziest thing about it. In case you're wondering who is this that's driving this increase, according to this mid-year report, MRC's data, 70% of consumers of Afro-pop are white people. That's definitely helping it become more normalized in the US, but 70%, is that like not surprising to y'all?
What's so crazy?
Be shocking.
It's surprising, but it shouldn't be also. Let me give you my my explanation. I'm gonna bring it all together. Remember when Black Panther came out, okay? I know it was like a huge thing in the Black community of like how important that movie was. People were going back to see it over and over again. But also, obviously, for things to be successful in this country, for the most part, white people have to buy it or consume it or, buy into it. And, a lot of white people were going back to see that movie again and again and again. And obviously a part of that was the album, which also included a lot of Afro, I don't want to say Afro-pop, but African artists were included on that album. Were any Afro-pop artists included? Yeah, people who do, people were included on that album. Now, I'm not saying that's like solely the version, the reason why, but, there's kind of a trend of like African things being sold to the American public and them buying into it, if that makes sense.
Well, you think of like, some of our biggest acts in the United States, Drake and Beyonce, have like ushered in like African artists and featured them pretty prominently on their songs. And not even just like those artists, they've featured those sounds pretty prominently.
Yeah.
And I wasn't okay with the sounds until they started doing the artists. And no, you just brought up The Gift, right? The Lion King album, is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah, the Gift album, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect example. That's what I became cool with, because I used to actually feel kind of bitter when I would hear a whole bunch of Afrobeat and hip hop and stuff without, I think, the artists getting the recognition. I think Drake was kind of the leader in changing that because he did put WizKid as a feature for One Dance. Then Beyonce just had a whole bunch of them on her album where she like encouraged them to, flex your skills. And, a lot of those people got their first Grammy nom because of that album. It's like, that was really cool.
The seeds are sown, like they're there.
I have to ask you guys this though, because we're kind of, they're talking about, K-pop, Afro-pop, because, for K-pop, the face of K-pop is BTS. They are the face. Yeah. They are the people that's driving that. And obviously the other successful K-pop acts, I'm not saying BTS is the only one, but they're the face and, kind of everything. They drive the whole, that whole genre. Does Afro-pop need a face for it to be like, is WizKid the face?
No, I think I'd say WizKid, Davido, and Burna Boy are probably sharing that title of the face.
Okay.
But if you had to pick one, it probably would be WizKid. I think, which is in America, it's WizKid. Nigeria, I think Davido is still the bigger act, but I'm not sure Davido is seen as much breakthrough success.
Are all those artists from Nigeria, Nnamdi?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Burna Boy's from the UK, but he's
Nigerian.
Grew up in both.
Gotcha.
And Davido and WizKid, born and raised in Nigeria, and both have had, I believe at one point Davido was signed to Kanye.
He might have been.
That sounds
right.
But it was like 10 years ago, and nothing fruitful really ever came out of it. So I don't know what would happen with that, but
that makes sense too.
Is this map also suggesting, because 35%, which is the majority of the region, the biggest region that's supporting Afro-pop, like Southern white people are one of the biggest demographic consumers of Afro-pop in the US.
That is interesting.
I don't know if we can make that overlap.
Yeah, I don't know if we can make that overlap. I don't know.
But no,
I think I'm going to. It's 25 to 34-year-old white people in the South, predominantly.
I get what you're saying. Based on the data.
Based on the data
South,
in front of me.
If I'm guessing where I think that South is, I think it's your Atlantas and your like maybe even your Tennessee and your Florida, all of which have really strong Black and African populations.
Yo,
So like I would think, but it's still. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's Southern white people who are getting crunk to Burna Boy.
and also in those states you're talking about, they have, you know, big metropolitan areas like Georgia, there's Atlanta, Texas has, you know, Dallas, Houston. You know, we're not just talking about, you know, the rural areas.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, these are places with, you know, big metropolitan, big cities, you know.
Wait. See, I knew something about this graph was getting me off. This don't equal 100. So how does this work? Is my math wrong?
There's probably like a small thing they probably just not including, honestly. These,
No, I mean it's more than 100. 69 plus 21 is 80. Wait, it's 80, right? 79.
Pull the calendar out.
No, 90.
69 plus 21
This
is
don't make no sense.
69
This
plus
is
21
like
is
way more
90.
than 100.
Maybe
So
it's
plus
including
90
people. I don't know what the survey was. Maybe people identify as Black and whites. I don't know. That's maybe the thing. Maybe people are like, I'm Black and white, and they included them in like both
That
parts.
still
of the
does
survey.
not make
I don't know. I don't know.
If you're surveying like 100 white people, then 69 said that they listen to Afro-Pop. If you're surveying 100 black people, 101
is
said
that how we're supposed to? So is
yeah,
that how
U.S.
we're
demographics of Afro-Pop
reading along
fan.
with?
Yeah.
Got you. Avery, thanks for explaining that.
Because I didn't understand. I feel like, you know, I've studied data journalism. I feel like there should have been an extra little something breaking that down for me.
Yeah.
21% of black people say they listen to Afro-Pop. That's
In the last 2 weeks.
shocking.
That's shocking and kind of disappointing, actually. Yeah,
Dang,
it's really
now I'm mad I
interesting.
know how to read the chart.
Yeah, but no, Avery, we need that context. That's important too. So now that's even like,
That is
wow,
important.
that means like, wow, more white people are listening to Afro-Pop than we
They really
knew.
are driving the consumption.
They really are
which is
driving the
like-
consumption.
But look, at the party me and Avery went to, the boy who put on WizKid, he wasn't me.
You did not look like you or I.
He put it on.
His name
Here
did
gets- here
his
gets-
name did his name have more than 5 syllables?
Nah, bro, shout
No.
out Tim. Shout
Tim,
out Tim.
oh, one syllable. Got you. One syllable. Got you.
Did that.
Shout out Tim.
Got you. Dope. Yeah. It's 2 hours, man.
And then, y'all, so I guess another point I want to bring up with y'all that I think makes sense because of what we had a whole episode about how the pandemic played into listening habits. And I'm trying to find what page this is on. It may be on page, I'm just going to tell you what it is while I'm looking. Basically, they did a report or a survey for this where they were asking people what's like the most important thing when you're listening to music, like what matters the most. And basically in 2020, the number one answer was, I need like positive music. Like I need optimism. I need like just like things that are just make me smile. And apparently you could see that in the actual, and I don't know where this is on this chart, so I'm just gonna read out my notes, but you can see that when you consider like what the most streamed songs were. So the people said they wanted uplifting and happy music. And when you look at most streamed things, you have like Good Days from SZA as a song that was one of the most streamed, like Levitating.
Great song. Great song too.
Mood, like this songs that are like generally
Uplifting.
good
positive.
songs, but also just save your tears, like things like that. I was like, well, that's like really fascinating. Like, I guess even subconsciously, even if you don't recognize it, like
Light sounding
our-
songs.
Is that our like sad stat of the year? Remember last year was like people just are not listening to dance music.
Oh
So
yeah.
this year it's like our sad stats. People want to listen to happy music.
That's not a sad stat. That's a happy stat.
wait.
I
No,
don't
it's on
know,
page
it's just
2.
Kind
two,
of funny.
page two.
It makes so much sense.
I know. I just think it's really, really like fascinating.
You know
And
what's
hopefully that
interesting?
optimism translates to concerts.
You know what's so interesting too? We had a whole episode this. You guys remember the episode we did on like with Grant on it? You know, there's a lot of episodes we have with Grant, but you know, it's like pandemic albums, how they're doing now, essentially, you know, listening to music during the pandemic, going back to it. And, you know, we talked about like, you know, Dinner Party and Charlie XCX and stuff like that. We were talking about what kind of music are people going to want to listen to in terms of the music that came out last year. You know what I'm saying? And you guys mentioned like nobody wants to go back and like listen to music that was like inspired by the pandemic. Like it's very depressing. It was really tough time. Obviously, we're still in the pandemic, but obviously that first 6 months of the pandemic was very, very tough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now that, you know, even though we're not out of the pandemic, we're still in the middle of it. People are a lot more open to being around people, I guess you would say. I don't know the exact word.
We're vaxxed and ready to.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We are. They're not.
We are, but
we are. Exactly. Yeah, that's interesting. And people are just more happy and out, which is a good thing. We want people being positive, but please be safe, people. Okay.
For real.
So yeah. So that's interesting. So we want happy people. We want to be outside. So yeah.
I'm gonna make that our sad stat of the year. Our sad stat of the year.
Yeah.
But isn't that like a happy stat of the year?
Yeah, I was like, that's a happy
I think
stat.
so, but it's also like if you read more, it says like, you know, there's a study saying they miss socializing and meeting people. Like it's optimistic, but it's like, dang.
Oh, so it's like I'm at home alone.
You need to get it from your music because in real life you're not.
We're like, dang, that last year.
That's depressing, Avery.
That's what I'm coming from.
That is sad. It's like, I have nobody, so all I have is this music.
Let me listen to Scissor real quick.
I'm listening to. I was gonna say something, but never mind. I was gonna say,
y'all. I think for time, last year I think we hit on like all the genres. I think this year we can just focus on music's most popular genre according to this mid-year chart. It's rap. 28% of overall music consumed is in rap. Shout out to rap. It's on page 18 of this chart. But top album this year, Superstar Aim from the Moon. 948 units moved this year.
Not surprising.
The top album released this year is The Voice by Lil Durk. And I think that was this year. It was, right?
The Voice was this year. The Voice was this year, right?
But 735,000 units moved. Nnamdi's favorite album on this list,
Gangsta's Pain.
A Gangsta's Pain, 629, and that's number 5 on rap albums this year.
Yeah. I mean,
satisfied with that. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I agree. I mean, rap is rap. Every year this is gonna look different based on who comes out, and that just shows like how many artists are in rap, like who broke into rap. Even though rap's the biggest, you know, there's so many artists who are successful now. Like seriously, there's so many artists. I'm not willing to go this, but I get to say like, are there 50 rap artists you could say right now? It's like, wow, they're doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 or 30. I don't know. Like, it's a lot of rap artists you could say. 50's a stretch. You know what I'm saying? Be like, wow.
I mean, depending on what you define good, like if it was like have found success over the last 3 years, I can
exactly.
Give
you couldn't say that like 15 years ago. It's like, oh, this is Top Dogs and nobody else. But with internet, there's so many ways to monetize music with YouTube. I'm pretty sure I have that on here, like, the hottest song on YouTube. Because remember last year, one of the biggest rap artists that shocked us was NBA Youngboy. It was like, wow, he's so popular. But it's the YouTube views that, that get his music streamed and so many people listening to it. So, internet just makes everybody popular, So, I mean, Pusha T's not
Avery,
even but never mind. Go ahead. I was just talking. Go ahead.
Avery, I want to bring this up to you because you're our TikTok correspondent, but do you notice anything about the rap top songs? Which for our audio listeners, Up by Cardi B, Astronaut in the Ocean by Mask Wolf, Back in Blood, Pusha T, Beatbox, Bottom Got 'Em, and Rap Star by Polo G.
Literally all of them are TikTok trends or had a TikTok trend.
Even I knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, and Astronaut in the Ocean is like the most egregious one because it was like getting made fun of on TikTok for like how bad it was, and it's
now one of the most consumed songs.
You know what's so crazy too? When it starts the rap thing, Mask Wolf is the guy, which is like I was like, who is this? I was like, who is this guy? I was like, at first
I think he's Australian, I think.
From the little blurb on the side, I thought I was like, is that Bryson Tiller? I was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, white guy.
Oh my god. No.
He's Australian, I'm pretty sure. So.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
So Australian TikTok is gonna drive all this stuff.
I mean, nothing's changed. We did it. I said it last year. I was like, TikTok has been the star of the pandemic. They beat the pandemic. TikTok really beat the pandemic. Mm-hmm. They really did.
And honestly, these days I just skip rap radio because I just don't understand the disconnect that exists between like radio, in my opinion, should be reflective of what's being streamed the most and bought the most.
Yeah.
And it's just never is. Like mood.
You go to
who's
sorry, go ahead.
No, my face was the only thing I wanted to say after saying that. Like,
yeah,
this is the top radio rap song.
I know things have changed, Nnamdi. We're not in the Soulja Boy days. You feel me? we're not lean with it. We're not in those days. You feel me?
You check out the rock list. It's a sad state of affairs going on in rock.
Rock. Oh, where's rock? Oh my God.
Machine Gun Kelly is the only like current artist to be on this list. And you know, all respect to Machine Gun Kelly, but I just mean like rock as a genre, not really showing out here.
Yeah.
Glass Animals.
Glass Animals. That's you like them, right? You're a fan of Glass Animals.
I love Glass Animals.
The Neighborhood. We're fans.
AJR, The Neighborhood. That's The Neighborhood's like old hit. You like that song's huge.
Well, Avery.
Wow.
Do we have to ask you this? There's not like a shot or me coming at you. Is rock a dying genre? In terms of like,
it's dying. It's just not popular right now.
It's just not okay.
Strong.
Dying.
Maybe it's not, I don't want to say it's not strong because that feels reductive.
Okay,
but like, it's just not popular.
By dying,
It's
I was
not
saying
the it genre right
yeah,
now.
that's what I was saying. Because by dying, I didn't mean like the quality of music. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of quality rock albums. Yeah. It's probably a lot now. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just popularity.
My hot take. I think we are very much so on a path where in the next 10 years, rock is going to be.
I agree. I totally think that. Because rock
The
was
way
number one at
pop
one
is
point, right? Rock was number one at one point.
And the way pop is like moving right now, and even rap is moving. You get a lot of heavy rock influences in some rock and some rap and some pop songs. I think of Olivia Rodrigo's album. I think the way that evolution is going to result in rock again becoming sort of like the top genre. Because rap's getting too saturated, and eventually people are going to start doing something new. So
and rock, between all these genres, rock's the oldest genre. Rock's been around for almost 100 years now. Not literally, but about like the longest. You know, rap, it came in the 80s. You know, dance, pop, whatever came, you know, later. You know what I'm saying? Rock is an old genre, which also people like, oh, it's old, it's for old people, it's for older people. But that means a lot of people grow up on it. You know, even people's Avery's age, people love that music still. Avery, rock still has a soft spot in your heart, I would think. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot of people that you know, are you know, feel really strongly about that music and that are gonna support it. And heck, Olivia Rodrigo, Good For You is one of the most popular songs, basically a rock song, you know? So
No, could you scroll up to dance super quick? I wasn't going to do all the genres. I'm still not, but just super quick.
As we do all the genres.
Just want to shout out
your queen.
That Lady Gaga's 12-year-old album, The Fame, is the number one best-selling dance album. That's all I wanted to point out.
A lot.
That's what you call staying power. That's what you call staying
power. That's her
power.
most recent album and one of her oldest albums. Top 2.
I mean, Lady Gaga's a legend, though, so.
Yeah, she is.
Hey, the streets don't be saying that.
No,
but also
stop it.
This is funny. The top selling dance song is a Travis Scott Goosebumps remix. So you also have that. There you go. And then, do we want to do R&B? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, we've gone through all the other ones.
It's been a who is this?
This is long.
Young Thug.
As well.
Interesting. I mean,
but it's the weekend.
Yeah, weekend top killing it. Giveon, good for Giveon. Happy for Giveon.
Yeah.
And Doja Cat.
So it's After Hours, the highlights, Giveon's album when it's all said and done, Take Time, Hot Pink, and then Control by SZA.
People just ready for that SZA album. So, and look at y'all. Look at number 4 on top songs.
That doesn't surprise me. And I'm sure by the end of the year that'll be higher than Peaches.
Well, Nnamdi, how you feel about Peaches? Yeah, I was gonna say, how you feel about that?
Well, Justin Bieber wanted to be considered R&B, so it looks like somebody believed him. So
first off, act like you don't love that song.
I'm not gonna act like I don't love it, but like I resent the fact that I didn't add it to my playlist because of my disdain for the album. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I feel you.
I want to close the Justin Bieber chapter of my life, so you can try again next album.
I agree. Yeah, guys.
Well, friends, that's really what our genres are. I feel like at this point we're past the hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. I did have some other things, but I'm gonna wrap them up.
Okay.
But I think the mid-year is really fun because it's the most accurate depiction of what people are actually listening to. Morgan Wallen, it's big takeaways. Morgan Wallen was never canceled because he has by far the most consumed album. And Taylor Swift, people still buy her music physically. Like literally only her. Like people still buy the hell out of her music. So good for her.
And vinyls are in.
And vinyls are in, as is rap.
As in
Afro-Pop.
Afro-Pop too.
And Afro-Pop is growing. Yes. So goals. Let's rush through the Billboard highlights, which is actually a perfect segue for this. This hasn't really changed on the Hot 100. Oh, well, the Hot 100 has changed. Permission to Dance by BTS replaced Butter by BTS, extending my point that BTS is going to kind of become the artist of the summer. And it's going to be super noticeable if they end up getting snubbed by all of the actual like critical award shows, because like, you know, it would be pretty bad if you have this foreign group that's managed to come in and be super duper successful and then like snub them at the last minute. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And then rounding out the top 5, no, scroll down and I'll guess, because I know we're not logged in, but I'll see if like, oh, it didn't even.
Yeah.
Want you to
But I do know, and what I can tell you all right now about the Hot 100 is that it really hasn't changed much other than BTS. Like Butter is now number 3. You then have Good For You from Olivia Rodrigo sitting at number 2. They have a new Kid Laroi has a song on here with Justin Bieber.
What number is that? Is that number 4?
Number 3.
3.
Butter is number 7. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
Stay by Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber is number 3.
Gotcha.
Levitating number 4. Kiss Me More is number 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Wow. So like the power of BTS fans, they said forget Butter, and Butter fell to number 7, and they just all put the energy into this new song.
They're gonna put that
Only they can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then on the Billboard 200, I think I put You Can Guess What's number 1, and I feel like you should be able to guess what's number 1.
Morgan. No, not Morgan. Oh, Olivia Rodrigo, easily. Olivia Rodrigo. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, she's back at number 1. So congrats to Olivia Rodrigo. And I said you can guess because this has actually been what it's been the last like 3 weeks. Doja Cat's number 2, and Morgan Wallen is number 3 because again, he was never canceled.
Yeah, there's no other crazy debuts in the top, but I gotta ask you guys, since we love these albums. Vince Staples, guess what number he debuted at?
Oof.
I'm gonna say 16.
16, 17. Ooh.
20.
21 for Vince Staples. That's pretty good for Vince Staples. I think he had the number 1 rap album. I think he had, or like on Spotify or something. Yeah, so good for Vince Staples. Guess where Snow Allegra debuted?
33.
Ooh. 33 for Avery. Nnamdi.
28.
24 for Olivia Rodrigo.
No.
Oh, Snow Allegra. I said Olivia Rodrigo. No, Snow Allegra. Excuse me. Yeah. So
wait. So Vince was 21 though.
Vince was 21. Snow Allegra was 24. So
It's pretty good
I'm
for
not
Snow
mad at
Allegra.
that.
I think that's good for both of them. Honestly, I think that's good for both of them. I mean, Vince, this album, guys, we're gonna get in Project of the Week. I was gonna pick Vince Staples again for Project of the Week because I love that album so much. But yeah. So.
And that guy never responded to me. Let's get into Project of the Week now. This is a good segue. But I just want our listeners to know, I asked the author of that article we talked about last week to come on, and he left me on red on Twitter. Hopefully he listens to this, and you know, if he's listening, we were really interested in what you have to say. So if you want to come back,
you'd like to
we're
discuss.
open to it. I put DiCaprio 2 because I went to a party and I heard Off These play, and I proceeded to go home and listen to the rest
Wow,
of the
I
album. And
wonder who played that song. Must have been have really great music taste.
Yeah, whoever did that, they just
That
this
person
beautiful
was-
taste.
Amazing taste.
I know it wasn't Avery because so
'Cause I hate J. Cole. So, I mean,
you hate Jid. I mean, you hate J. Cole and Jid.
yeah, right.
This album's great. Great album.
It's so good.
Album came out the year I first met Avery. I remember we was like,
Correct.
oh, you listen to DiCaprio too? Yeah, good album. Guys, honestly, I could have put Vince Staples' self-titled album again. I'm not lying. I basically
I
should
thought
have.
about it too.
I'm not lying.
I thought we could have done it.
No, guys, I'm not lying. I really love this album. This album might end up being my album of the year because of how much I've listened to it. Seriously, I've listened to this album literally every day. It's so freaking good.
It's a good album.
No, but the lyrics are literally stuck in my head. He said, hanging on the corners like hanging on a ceiling fan. I was like, oh my. Vince Staples, we want to interview, buddy. But I went with FM, which is still a great album. Yeah, man, FM. I think Vince is hitting his stride now in terms of like, you know, music making with FM going into Vince Staples. Because actually, speaking of like going back into catalogs, I listened to all his music, basically all his albums, and Big Fish Theory and Prima Donna are to me they're cool. There's some good stuff. I know he's experimenting with that. I know Nnamdi loves Prima Donna. I remember when that came out, Nnamdi loved it, but I feel like he's hitting a stride here. So I love FM. So it's a great album. It's so crazy. Vince, this recent album is so like dark and sad, and this one's like
the opposite.
Want to have fun. It's like, it's fun for summer. So yeah, great album.
That'll be good balance for the playlist since we literally added half of the album to our playlist last
I agree.
Oh, we have a hard 3 projects of the weeks here. These are 3 hard ass albums.
People died on these albums.
People died.
Avery, tell us about your classic choice.
I picked
Classic.
I Met 2 by Benny. This album's perfect. Like
it's just perfect. It's perfect, right? It's perfect, right? It's perfect, right?
I have not much more to say other than I think we've talked about this album a lot, but it's perfect. Like it's incredible.
This makes you want to go back to the 80s and be a coke dealer or something with Tony Montana.
It makes me want to like be Cuban and Miami.
The Cuban be Miami.
Yeah, deal coke. Like
Exactly.
It's incredible.
I just got out of that industry. I really appreciate it.
Yo, now the ops is everywhere, bro.
I know they used to call me Nam Chapo. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. We're laughing because it's Tease telling the truth. But his FBI agent like, bruh.
You're in witness protection, Nnamdi.
He like, bruh, for real? Seriously?
I get a call right now. Are you serious right now?
Are you serious right now? Like, bruh, seriously, I had your back. Oh man.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to the playlist because this means we're gonna have some fire editions. And that playlist is long now. There's now 6 hours worth of music there for you. So just hit shuffle and enjoy the ride, buddy.
Yo, I literally do that. It's so fun.
I do too, because you get a little bit of everything. So go on the 97 demo on Spotify, and it should come up. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the 97 demo. Share, tell your friends about it. Follow us on all of our socials at the 97 demo. What else should they do, y'all? Anything?
Follow us on Twitter. We're trying to do better on our socials of like news and stuff like that. If you guys are following us on Twitter the past week, we have been when Kanye released, when the trailer came out, we did that. James Blake, yeah, his new album, we put that out. So we're trying to be more active on Twitter, especially with news.
A one-stop shop for everything.
Everything, exactly. Everything music. So if you guys, when the podcast drops, you'll get it. When something crazy happens, we'll get it. When Kanye album drop next year, we'll get it. All that stuff.
A lot of pressure. There's been a lot of pressure on you've been a lot of pressure out there. We're gonna try our best.
Nothing will slip past us.
We're gonna try our best. All the big music news, not like when
we're gonna get it to you before Complex gets it.
Gets it.
We're gonna scoop everybody. We're gonna scoop Rolling Stone.
We're gonna scoop TMZ. Okay, no, we're not. But TMZ is there. They have their eyes everywhere.
They have a deal with the devil.
I'm convinced
they really have
TMZ embeds in all the buildings.
Avery's exactly right. They have a deal with the devil. They really do. They have a deal with the devil to get all this stuff. Like,
we are taking a dark turn for what's supposed to be the outro.
Deal with the devil, literally.
Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back next week. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the 97 Demo.